Hi everyone, Soul Super 17 here. Let me first, like usual, I did not own this picture. This is not a paid video. Alright, okay, so yeah, I mean it's been like so many days, not at least a month almost, or a week. Well, more than 1 week. But yeah. So here's the thing. I mean, I've been trying not to think of any new what ifs, honest and truth. But ideas keep popping in my head. Like I told you, the Berserk Naruto, the Darkness Naruto, but I've been trying to, want to focus on the stories, and I have made the thumbnails. I just haven't released them. I mean, I'm probably gonna do that maybe tonight or so. But I mean, I came up with basically three, maybe to four or five. New one. Well, basically thumbnails. One was basically due to a TV series, well, not TV show, but movie called The Crow, and if you guys don't know it, just look up The Crow, and it's also a comic. Another thing besides the Darkness and Berserk Naruto, The Crow is Deku. Well, I mean, the other one was basically Naruto, to be Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden's son. I don't think that would be good. And the last one was due to my friend showing me a video. Okay, reason why I'm laughing because it was about Cell and Gohan. Cell found out basically Gohan had a kid. And from there, for some reason, my mind thought of Cell trained Naruto. And, well... yeah. Oh man, I mean, it would mostly be a comedy, like a kind of more of a comedy thing going on, because I do not know why. I just have a feeling I'll make Cell be, well, I'll explain it whenever I make that video. But anyways, yeah. So I just thought I should get this started because this was something I've been trying to figure out where I'm gonna go with. I'm probably gonna be making my Pokemon Isekai one, then go back to my Isekai Overlord before I make anything else. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do it this weekend because I mean I mostly have the time for it then. I know how many episodes I've watched, and they're like, to me, it's after the whole entire, the electric gym with, Sergeant Surge in the Pokemon Wood. To me, everything after that is just filler. Until Butterfree. So, I'm probably gonna try to come up with some new stuff I can do during then. But I want to make sure. So, yeah. But anyways, let's get into this what if. I need to charge my phone soon, so yeah, anyways. This is what if Naruto gained White Fatalis' powers, part 3. So, last time we left off is Naruto basically defeated Haku, Zabuza dies, basically Hiruzen finds out maybe White Fatalis is a part of Naruto somehow in some way, maybe a Kekai Genkai similar to it, and, well, trying to keep Naruto, in control. So they basically, Kakashi's been telling Naruto to train and also meditate and such to keep him in control so where the madness does not take over. Now, we are at the Chunin exams. Oh yeah, by the way, Rock Lee did beat Sasuke. I realize I'm making Sasuke friendly towards Naruto. So, there are some things that are going to change in this a bit. Even with the, cursed seal, you'll find out. But, yeah, along with Ino, this part's going to be a lot different. Two things, reason why. You'll find out. So, anyways, like I was saying, we have them entering the first stage of the Chunin exams, as when everyone is looking at them, killer tent is rolling off of everyone that's just staring at them. Naruto is thinking, wow, these guys really are trying to scare us. Which White Vitalis snorts at that, basically like, puny weaklings. All of them. which Naruto says, now, Vitalis, we basically aren't, well, as strong as you are. Which basically then he looks over at Sakura. She's kind of shaking a bit while Sasuke is not, but he can tell basically he's trying not to. Basically, has twitch, basically finger twitching, which Naruto can just smirk. So, before anything can happen, before Naruto could do anything or try anything, basically all of a sudden they hear someone. Yeah, well, actually, we would hear Ino yell out basically, Sasuke basically, what she will say in canon and hug him. But in this case, she's come over basically, and goes, "Oh, hey guys," which what happens with Sasuke is he knows she's not latching on to him, which he goes, he just basically literally says, "You're not latching on to me." She looks over, goes like, "Oh, hi Sasuke," like completely does not even care. Just Sasuke's blinking. He's like, "Yes, no more fangirl, hopefully." Which Sakura's like, why you not? She goes, "Oh, well, how should I say this? I got over it. I grew up a bit." Which Naruto's like, "Okay, wait, what book you reading?" Which Sakura and Sasuke even notices. So Naruto goes around her basically to look over her shoulder, and what he sees is, well, a Rathalos, a description of it, which his eyes widen, because he hears Fatalis goes like, starts laughing about it. Where she goes like, "Fatalis, why are you laughing?" He goes, "It's nothing, Naruto. It's just the fact that she's reading basically the description of a monster." Which Naruto's eyes widen. He goes, "You mean from the one from the New World? And the old?" Which he hears this, the laughter dies down and goes like, "Yes." So, after that, Naruto's about to ask more, but then Kiba comes over. Everything will go the same, but when Naruto basically about to have his, card read, all of a sudden, a beam of lightning hits it. Well, not a beam. Like, lightning comes out of Naruto's finger and hits the card, basically burning it. He goes, "Sorry, I don't want none of my skills or information to be known." Which everyone is shocked to see that, including Ino, which Sasuke just shrugs, being like, "What? You can always do it." Which Kiba's like, "So wait, have you been..." He goes, "Whatever, hold up guys, hold up." Alright, sorry, but yeah. So, Kiba asks, "Wait, were you holding back at us during the academy?" Naruto just looks at him and be like, "Really? That's what you're worried about?" Doesn't matter if I was. Which then kind of takes an insult to Kiba a bit, but hey. Sasuke kind of like, he just looks at Kiba and just says, Don't even ask." Because he trained with Naruto, and they hear about basically, they hear from Kakashi that Naruto's been holding back due to gravity, basically suppression seals for his strength and speed. Yeah, he understood why he needed to hold back. So yeah, anyways, after that, Kabuto would say exactly the same thing as he would about the Sound Village, and then that will all happen. Let's just say this. I don't really want to go into it much of the test, because like I said, I need to, do have work soon, because it's like I start at 5. So, yeah. Anyways. So, basically, everything will go exactly the same with everyone else, with Naruto. Basically, he will ask Vitalis, basically, if he knows anything of these questions. In which, well, yes. To be honest, if you really think about it, Vitalis has been around since hundreds of years to 1,000. He would have basically been around before, the ninja age was, the age of ninjas came around, and he could have been around basically during the whole time, clan wars and stuff, and basically the whole entire villages being born. So he could know a lot of stuff. After he may have ran into a couple of people that, tried to kill him, or basically, because he knows chakra. He could have like also used some seals to use it again in jutsu to go into town and stuff. I mean, the possibilities were endless. So yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying though, he does know some things, not all though. And but he does give an idea for Naruto. Basically, goes like, "You are a ninja. What is the ninja supposed to do to gather information?" Which he goes, "Well, we're supposed to steal, take things away, basically decode it, and he goes, and this is a test to gather information, correct?" Which he goes, "No, it's a test where we have to," and then it hits him. He slams his head into basically table because it was a chibi Naruto doing it, which Vitalis saw and chuckled. Was laughing at a bit, which he goes, "I'm an idiot." So, in a sense, he says I was an idiot, and well, he looks around and he sees the people going back and forth. Naruto grins. He goes, "Let's see how much power these lights can have." So basically, he sends chakra, lightning chakra, into his feet, and basically sends it through the ground into the power system. As all of a sudden, the lights are going off in the room. Well, going brighter and brighter in the room, which blinds everybody. Which Naruto, because it was like basically bright light, like a quick flash, which it basically causes everyone to have, well, cannot see right and disorientate them. And Naruto finds a person that basically, had the test, which was, well, his own teammate, Sakura, and literally basically write down everything real quick and came right back into his seat. Which, yeah, I mean, why not? He knew Sakura was smart, and he was right. And from there, everything still goes the same. Him basically saying he does not care if he decides to be again in all his life, he'll not stop him from, making his dream. After a good number of people have died. Well, not died, I mean, sorry. After a good number of people have left. I mean, to be fair though, that's kind of a hint. I kind of got ahead of myself. Oops. Anyways. Well, I mean, technically we never really see them again, so... But yeah, but anyways, so we do have then... the whole entire force of death. You see, Naruto's basically been talking to Vitalis. Basically, when he sees the force of death, it does not interest him at all. He says there's a lot more dangerous creatures back in the old and new world than this puny little forest. Which Naruto actually has a laugh at that, because the first Hokage made this forest with his Mokuton. So, yeah, the creatures are there he heard are big. So, since Enko thinks he's not paying attention, Enko tries to see for kunai Naruto, and Naruto legit just catches it between his two fingers. And then basically kind of like spin it around, and then around his hand to grab it, and basically points to basically the whole entire kunai point at Enko's neck. Which, she's actually very impressed. Along with basically, everyone else. So yeah. So in a sense, nobody know how Naruto did it, but yeah, Enko goes, well, I thought you weren't paying attention. He goes, "Oh, sorry. I was just looking at the forest and thinking, how big are the animals in there? And if they are, well, how strong they are." Which she looks at him with a little bit of a curious look. She goes, "Why is that?" He goes, "Thought it'd be a good training opportunity." Which she blinks and starts laughing. She goes, "Well, I like it, Gaki." She pats him on the shoulder and may go back to where she was. So, she basically talked about the whole entire the paper that's saying if they die, Konoha will not be responsible, and they get the scroll. Now, here is where some things are going to change. Meanwhile, there are some things happening in the Forest of Death. Around a good number of people, around 30 to 40 people, are at these cages. Just, watching them. while these two creatures are just looking around, trying to find a basic way to escape. One, basically, it's irritated, the other one has like drool coming off its mouth. As one of them goes like, why would a Lord Orochimaru have these monsters come here? Which another goes like, we do not question our Lord. Besides, these are good, basically, weapons to kill Konoha. Which another one will nod, as when one of them basically all of a sudden sees a bug coming out, a beetle, not beetle, actually a bee coming out of nowhere trying to hit him. He dodged, but that's when it hit the cage of this green creature. As all of a sudden it basically gets out and breaks free, basically. As then when it does, it sees a ninja right in front of the other cage of the monster, runs at him, and basically he jumps but it slams into the cage. As this is when then the other monster, jumps out of it and literally goes for the trees. Now, the ninjas looking at the beast as the beast just looks at it and, looks at them, and basically what happens next is these projectiles come out of nowhere with electricity coming off of it, hitting about 3 to 4 ninjas. And then the creature runs at the ninjas and you hear screaming in the distance. Yeah. So, what happens next is very simple. We go back to basically Naruto and his team. Well, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. They are running for the trees and such. So Sasuke basically knows Naruto's strength and speed, and they are a hindrance to him. Which Sasuke goes like, "Hey, dope." Which goes, "Yeah, Tim, what's up?" He goes, questioning about your condition. Which his eyebrow raised. He goes, "Yeah, what is it?" He goes, "Is it Kekai Genkai?" Which Naruto basically looks at him and basically, Sasuke's looking at him back at a glance, and in a quick, fashion, fatalis tells him saying, "Yes, it is." Say in a way that basically sounds like there's more to it, but you cannot say for right now. Which Naruto has a question, look to him in his subconscious, where he goes, "Just trust me," which Naruto would not. He goes, "Yeah, it is. I don't know how I have it, but I do." Which he just nods to Naruto. So, he would say, "Well, I want you to split off from us." Which Naruto's, eyes wide, he goes, "Why?" He goes, "I hate to say it, but you're stronger than me. You're faster than me. You have better reflexes and better senses than me. You'll be the best one to go and basically find people with the scrolls that we need." Which Naruto's looking at him and then thinks about it and then he understands. He nods. He goes, "Fine. Just don't die on me, alright? Both of you." Which Sasuke had to chuckle. He goes, "I won't. You don't die on me then, Naruto." Which Naruto basically grins and, goes in a different direction. Sakura is shocked by Sasuke and goes like, "Sasuke, Naruto Baka ain't that strong. He's not that better than you," which there's nothing said, and then Sasuke says this: "He is. He's better than me. I want to deny it, but I can't no longer. He's better than me because of his Kekai Genkai, and I have a feeling even without it, he would have been better than me overall." Which Sakura is shocked. And, we have Naruto jumping for the trees. He's basically, finding, basically a team and, fighting each other. Basically, one team basically taking a scroll that was an earth, while basically his team has heaven. He basically is thinking about getting it, but, seeing the fighting, he doesn't want to basically, run into this fight without a plan. So, he basically makes shadow clones to basically at least follow them. He goes looking around and such, but the strangest thing, he finds, a team. A team basically running from something, which they're basically using the trees, but In a sense, it seems like no matter what, this thing's following them. Which they're basically going right towards. Well, I mean, basically he follows and basically gets ahead of them, basically try to do an ambush. But he notices then, basically, he hears the, Ino, Shikamaru, and Shoji. And what happens is that when they basically appear out of the tree branches and land, one was like, I can't go on. But he was like, we got to. We don't know what the heck that thing is. How does Kono even have that thing in this forest? Which, well, they see, Shikamaru and Shoji. They're like, oh, great, we don't have time for. Before anything happens, Naruto sees something pop out. It's a green reptilian lizard, as it basically has a little bit of a bulge where its stomach is, which all he hears Vitalis says, it's a great Jagras. Naruto, you have to kill it. He goes, which Naruto's eyes widen, he goes, it's a monster, right? He goes, yes, from the new world. Which Naruto basically immediately about to, jump down as basically he sees basically ninjas using basically ninjutsu as, well, they try to hit the monster. It does damage, but not as that much damage as you think. Remember, monsters can use chakra in this. A select few can. And unintentionally, some will also be able to use nature energy. Now, does that make it harder for monsters to be killed? That's in basically if we go by the mechanics of Monster Hunter, games. There's low rank, high rank, and then basically master rank. Master rank monsters will only be able to use will be able to use basically nature energy subconsciously. So yes, I mean I'm thinking about that now, but this one is a higher rank. But no, it's just their jutsus are just too weak. They were in a fight previously, and the Great Jagras came because of their, fighting. So, in a sense, yeah, it runs out one, and, it tramples him, and the other one then basically turns around and, starts eating them, as they basically were screaming. Which, that shocks Shikamaru, and Shoji, who are very, very supplied with a lot of chakra, still. They haven't gone into any fights, but the fact is, the only heavy hitter is Choji. And his fists aren't going to do damage, but eventually, when he runs out, yeah, it's no good. So, Naruto basically jumps in immediately, and, well, this is when basically that feeling again happens. That, voice, the instinct, the, Fatalis' will comes out, telling him to kill everything around him. To rip and tear. That sort of stuff. So basically Naruto's clutching his head, his basically hair starting to go, white, his nails are growing, which before he can even basically, release any electricity coming off of his body, he hears basically, Ino and Shikamaru and Choji's voice, in which that basically brings it, him out of that state. Which he still hears the the wail of Fatalis, the rage and such, but he's basically ignoring it. He's pushing it back, deep down. Basically, this is surprising why Fatalis. For Naruto's, determination, and his basically will. He notices when he has people around him that he cares for, his precious ones, he remembers about, basically Haku and such, when you have truly someone you care for, or, anyone precious to you, that's where your true strength lies. Yeah, this is basically the meaning of it to Fatalis. So, well, Naruto, basically... Oh, yeah, by the way, it's just getting hot in here, so I thought, basically, turn my fan on level 2 would have been good, but, I mean, it's getting hot. And, yeah, but anyways, so basically, like I said, Fatalis basically realizes this. Naruto gets more strength when his precious people are in danger. But for some reason, he basically, heard everyone else, but for some reason, when he hears Ino's voice, Shikamaru Choji, he'll fight, he got stronger, but when he hears Ino's voice, basically terrified, he's looking at the beast. He senses a little bit of rage, unknowingly. He doesn't know why. Well, Naruto doesn't understand why, but fatalis has a sneaky suspicion that his friend, his companion, his partner, unknowingly has a crush on the Yamanaka because of her willingness to talk to him and him basically not being truly alone anymore in the village because of her. Which the basically the great Jagras is looking at Naruto with a little bit of hunger and basically just primal instincts as Naruto is looking at it. He goes like, "So, you are here. Bring it on, you reptilian scum." Which Jagras goes like, well, not Jagras, Vitalis goes like, "Hey!" He goes, "Not you, this stupid reptile right in front of me." He goes like, "Okay, you're angry, I know, but still, I'm a reptile." He goes, "You're an oversized lizard. That is your oversized reptile." And Vitalis goes like, "Is there a difference?" He goes, which Naruto basically while running, basically as if, lets his thoughts, wander a bit, and he goes like, "Maybe, I don't really care." Which Vitalis is just grumbling. So yeah, Naruto has his claws basically, out. The Great Dragras basically tries to go up. Naruto dodges it. Then basically through that dodge, he went to the right. Basically when it lands his stomach on the ground, Naruto runs to it, basically throws back his fist and basically punch the not the Fatalis, the actual Great Jagras in the side. Which, surprisingly, with Naruto's chakra Vitalis is basically power and strength, yeah, he sends it flying into a tree. Like, do you guys not realize that? Like, he's 10 times stronger than a normal Jinchuriki, especially with Kurama. So, in a sense, I mean, with him basically also being trained and with resistance and his strength keep on growing, yeah, this is possible. This is possible for him to fight hand to hand with a monster. As the Great Jagras looks at Naruto with anger as he just basically gives the come on motion. And so, yeah, the Great Jagras tries to hit Naruto. Naruto dodges it. It basically tries to roll. Naruto basically jumps above it, and then basically all of a sudden he basically does a spinning kick right into basically the Great Jagras' stomach, which is facing away from basically the Ino Shikacho, as all of a sudden all the contents of the Great Jagras gets thrown out, in which it basically bodies a lot of bodies. As Naruto basically sees them and he just says, "Yeah, what you told me about this thing was real. The only its hunger is on a match," which basically Vitalis just does a grunt. So Naruto jumps off of it, basically landing in front back in the Ino Shikacho, in which basically he sees looks like a blade is standing, basically it's upwards in the ground with the blade pointed tip in the ground and the handles. Basically, Naruto can run and grab it, which he looks at the sword, looks back at them. When they basically see Naruto, his eyes are basically glowing, basically with the slits, and basically now he just smiles at them, and they see his fang, his canines grew a bit. The whisker marks have not changed, are still there. I mean, they haven't changed. It's just they have gone thicker. He just looks at them and be like, but they do know his hair was growing, on him, like on his basically, for sideburns grow and they say they're white and such. There's no that blonde and white, and there's this this red energy coming off him. It looks like lightning. He looks at them. He goes like, "Just be careful. What I'm about to do, and what you're about to see. You're gonna probably be scared." We're just like, huh? But Ino probably knows. She basically only knows basically what Naruto may be doing. If you really think about it, she heard the stories from her father about basically her grandfather's adventures into the old world and about monster hunters. So in a sense, she knows a fist or jutsus may not be able to cut through monster skin. Only a weapon can. But she doesn't know if any of these weapons from Konoha can do it. So Naruto just basically sees the worry in her eyes and just gives a soft smile. And then all of a sudden he turns back. They can see his demeanor changes. Even the air gets a little bit more colder. And basically electricity is coming off him a little bit more. Starts to come off him slowly but intensely, as then he just runs towards the blaze. The Great Dragus gets up as Naruto basically grabs the sword handle, run towards it, and immediately the sword is getting covered in electricity. In which, well, it's not just gets covered; it starts to glow. All of a sudden, it looks like another blade is basically appearing on it. Like it's growing in size, growing into length of being like a long sword from Monster Hunter. As when the Great Dragon sees Naruto, he all it sees is basically a blinding light being swung at it. And when it basically hits the Great Jaguars, it does cut into it. It cuts into it, and well, it's well, they see the parts breaking off of it, and yeah, it's yeah, Naruto's not holding like just going fast, actually moving faster than basically because he's using chakra, so he's making his movements be faster and such, as it's getting the Great Dragon's gonna slash all around with cuts into it. But the thing is, he notices basically, even if he's using basically fatalis' lightning, the body's not, cutting apart like it normally would, if basically like of a normal human limb as such. For reasons why, I'm just shrugging, guys, because I'm honestly feeling like video game logic. I just think of it basically just like, for unknown reasons, fatalis, this is how it always happens. No one understands why. Which he goes, ah. So in a sense, yeah, he finally kills the monster by basically plunging the sword all the way into the monster's head. And with that, the Great Jaguars is dead. So, after that, he stops basically having the electricity go throughout the blade, which turns back to a regular, basically, ninjato a normal katana, which surprisingly was, he basically pulls it out and jumps off of the monster. He goes over to them while his hair is turning back to normal, his eyes are going back to blue. He goes, and his nails are, stop being long. He goes, sorry it took me a little bit for that, guys, but we're alright. Hopefully. Which, Void Fatalis tells him, I sense another monster, but it's not nearby. It's, well, farther away. Which Naruto goes, great. So, in a sense, though, Shikamaru goes like, what is that? He goes, before Naruto can even say anything, and he goes, it's a Great Jaguars. It's it's like a, basically, it's basically like from Choji's clan. But instead of basically them eating, for calories basically to grow into expansion jutsu, but they're with using an expansion jutsu, it eats because it's, hungry all the time. Well, nearly all the time. And it doesn't care if it basically fights something stronger than it. That's how basically great its hunger is. Which Naruto goes like, huh, a lot of stuff, huh, Which she just basically chuckles. She goes, I have my reasons, I know this. Which, though, Naruto's looking at it. And then, he doesn't even, do any hand signs. He just spouts, out. Basically, when he turns around to it, he just spouts out fire coming out of his mouth. Basically, burn the Great Jaguars' body. Which he goes, it's better off we burn that thing than let it stay here. Come on. Which, well, what they see Naruto is he's going basically towards the actual people the other Genins that had basically the scroll. In which, yes, they did. They had the Earth Scroll. In which basically all of a sudden Naruto's Shadow Clone's coming back, which they also have another Earth Scroll. Which he goes, well, lucky me. 2 Earth Scrolls. Which basically Shikamaru was like, well, we needed one. If you don't mind. Which Naruto just shrugs and gives it to him. He goes, well, anyways, I go back to my team. See you guys. Which, yeah. Naruto basically does not realize how far away is he from his team, but let's just say this. Orochimaru is... He basically, he was impressed by Sasuke enough. because he basically because Sasuke remembered Naruto that he wouldn't give up no matter not even basically whoever this guy was. He didn't care who it was, he'll fight him. Just like he basically had a thought of Naruto moment. Even if that snake tried to kill Sasuke, he basically dodged and basically used a fire style to burn the head of the snake and have Orochimaru basically be impressed. So in a sense, yeah, he gets the curse mark. Naruto basically, did not realize how long he was out until basically it's like near nighttime, and he sighs and basically he finds the tallest branch to basically sleep on, and does so while Sakura is taking care of Sasuke. So in a sense, after that, Naruto basically does start running over, and he does basically find basically animals on the way, and killed them and basically kind of had his meal, basically. I'm not gonna say that, but just what you normally do when you basically find like rabbits or such, and he just cooked it with his fire. So yeah, so in a sense he basically finds basically where the scent was strong, but not basically strong like they were there, like that day, like a day old, which he followed it basically finding his team, Sakura taking care of Sasuke, in which he notices the obvious traps and saw Sakura basically just taking care of him, which she did notice Naruto when he came in, so that's why she's not worried. So she goes, "What happened to you?" He goes, "Ran into a problem." She goes, "Problem? What type of problem?" He goes, "A monster type of problem." She goes, "What the heck does that even mean?" He just sighs and be like, "Look, there's something happening, I don't know what's going on. But let's just say this. A monster from another land came here, somehow, got here. And now, basically, it's dead, but there may be another one here. So we gotta be careful." In which she sees the look in Naruto's eyes means he's serious, which she nods. So, wait, just need to check. Alright, yeah. So in a sense, yeah, she basically, she's not questioning Naruto. So, I'm gonna only go up to probably the Kiba fight, just to let you guys know. So yeah, so basically, everything from there is Naruto's keeping watch when Sakura's asleep. He only sleeps basically when Sakura is awake. And while they're taking care of Sasuke, he also hunts with shadow clones and gives her some food, which she thanks him. And let's just say this, the Sound Ninjas, do I really have to say anything? Naruto does not harm them that much, but when Sasuke basically gets the curse seal activate and stuff, and that happens, yeah, that just goes down that way. Naruto stops him instead of Sakura, and he uses killer intent to basically make Sasuke listen to him, which makes Sasuke basically have the curse seal, go back into, dormant state. And, yeah. Sasuke, kind of, goes panting on one knee. So, in which, I want to say this. Lee, Tenten, and, Neji were passing by along with Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino when they felt the killer tent rolled off of Naruto, which is quite shocking. Meanwhile, though, I want to say this with Ino. She's been trying to figure out what, happened to Naruto that made him change like that all of a sudden. So, yeah, it's kind of very strange. But, yeah. Anyways, though, let's say this. Kabuto meets up with them, like in canon, and, the whole entire base of those ninjas that basically use the Genjutsu does not happen. Well, happens, but it doesn't go well for them this time around, since Naruto does not have basically the Shikifujin on him. Well, basically that 5-pronged steel. And, yeah. They were really just, demolished. But that feeling that Naruto gets about that, you know, the presence of basically something, you know, in the forest, it's getting stronger, like it's getting closer. Oh yeah, by the way, none of the monsters see Naruto as Fatalis. They just see him as a human, but with basically a strong presence, which kind of like I must prove my dominance over this creature, so showing that this is my territory. Yeah, that sort of dominance, territorial. So yeah, so they get to the whole entire basically tower, the whole like well at least a day before, and well, you know what happens. Iruka basically says hi, to them, and Naruto basically saying hi, Iruka Sensei, but he then gets serious and goes like, "Where's Hokage-sama?" Which Iruka, and kind of shocked by this because of the seriousness, along with basically, you know, Sasuke. But Sakura understands, which she goes, what do you mean?" Naruto goes like, "Where is Hokage?" Which goes, "I can take you to him." Which Haruko just cannot understand why is Naruto so serious, and, well, that tone he was giving him, like, if you don't basically show me where he is or bring me to him, I will bring pain upon you. So yeah, he listens. In a sense, Naruto basically says goodbye to his team, and he heads off. So when he basically meets Hiruzen, he goes, "Ah, Naruto, my boy, how are you?" Which he sees the no playful look on Naruto, that serious, expression. Even basically, he also noticed that Naruto has been. Well, I think I remember my first video. I did say he was like kind of like didn't talk much to people, but yeah, when I say in this one, he slowly was able to basically broad out his horizons and actually want to talk to people now. So yeah, so in a sense, he just sighs like, "Gigi, how do I even say this?" And she goes, "A great Jagras was in the forest of death. And there's something else in here, too." Which Hiruzen's eyes widen. He goes, "Naruto, how do you know it?" He goes, "Well, because I faced one and killed it. By the way, I forgot to mention, Naruto has the sword the whole entire time. I did not say he got rid of it, so he has it. I just want to point that out. He goes, "And I killed it with this." And he basically shown in the sword. Which Hiruzen's eyes widen. He goes, "Naruto, are you sure?" He goes, "Yeah, I even burned the body itself." Which Haruka is just kind of like, "Wait, what?" Which not many people know about the other world, of Monster Hunter world. No, they don't know this. Which I want to say before anything happens, all of a sudden two people come in, a tannish man with white hair and basically a white beard with this weird looking outfit onto them. But to any Monster Hunter, it's not the commander from Monster Hunter World, appears, along with basically a man in armor with green on it and spikes on the side with a helmet on, and a weird looking long sword with spikes in green. Which he goes, "Ah, Hiruzen, it's good to see you." Which he goes, "Commander." I don't know his actual name. He just says, as I just went to the Monster Hunter World game, and it says the commander. He goes, "The commander." Basically, so I'm just gonna say commander. "It is nice to see you again." And the hunter, which basically, he nods, and that's what I'm just gonna go by names off of the game. All right. So in a sense, basically, Naruto's looking at them. Vitalis is just not speaking, but Naruto asks, "Is that a hunter?" Which Fatalis just says, "Yes." Which, basically, the commander basically says, "So, I heard about your little problem, or, well, sightings of a white Fatalis." Which Naruto's eyes widen. Which, basically, Iruka goes like, "A white Fatalis? Wait, how is that even possible?" Which the hunter goes, "I'm surprised you even know about it." He goes, "Well, I know a little bit because of these stories about Fatalis. My parents, before they died, told me they heard it from a person that came overseas." Which, the hunter nods. Which, the commander says, well, I came here personally because of this, because you said there may be signs of it, or at least there may be a cave. Which Hiruzen says, sighs, and he goes, yes, but it seems that we have another problem. Which this commander eyebrow raised, he goes, what's that? A great jaguar was here, in the forest of death. Which basically commander's eyes widen, and kind of the hunter kind of basically stiffens a bit, which Naruto knows because of the armor. Which commander gets serious, he goes, really? How do you know this? Because he just says, my young genin here, Naruto Uzumaki, killed it. In which, well, what surprises is when the commander looks at Naruto, he can tell right away, this boy is not normal. Extremely not normal for, human child. Which he looks at Hiruzen and goes, is he a... He says, no, not a Jinchuriki. Well, as Naruto kind of basically not, looking at Hiruzen. What I mean by not looking at Hiruzen, I mean not looking at him in like any way besides just that, calm demeanor that shows nothing. Not that I know of. Which he looking at the, Naruto, he basically appraising him. Goes around him and basically goes, you're strong for a young kid. Scrawny, but, well, that's how most ninjas are. How did you kill it? Which the hunter asks, and Naruto basically shows him the sword. And then basically, he just kind of uses the red lightning to cover it, even though it's, Fatalis is, lightning. Basically, which, that surprises both of them. Which, basically the hunter looks at Naruto, with a quizzical look, and then basically, right away, since he has a lot of experience. And if I remember from a game, I think this is the guy who faced the actual white Fatalis. If not then, for this story purpose, he is. Okay? So, he immediately looks at Naruto. And Naruto basically staring at him, which I think Naruto's actually going like, why do I feel like I'm going to die any minute? Which, yeah, the guy literally just looks at him. And he goes like, lift up your shirt now, boy. Which, the harshness of the tone and, well, the command, Fatalis just tells him to do it. So Naruto does, and there's nothing there until he doesn't use chakra. In a sense, Naruto goes like, well, I'm screwed, in his head. And when he does, they see, looks like which, the ceiling of a Fatalis. Which, Hiruzen is shocked, the commander is shocked, but even the hunter, in which the commander goes like, how could this be? As, before anything happens, the Fatalis tells them to switch. Which he goes, wait, we can't you do that? He goes like, only in circumstances I like to do this. But this is going to make you groggy afterwards. Understand this. Which he just sighs, like, yeah, I understand. So, in a sense, all of a sudden Naruto basically, eyes close, and they see basically the white hair basically even come off the sides, kind of spiking, to the side of it. And when basically even the claws grow. And some scales are basically showing on Naruto's body, and then all of a sudden his eyes open, which they're red. They can see like hate, a lot of hate. Basically, Hiruzen thought it was the Kyuubi, but he knows the Kyuubi is not there, which the commander even knows, since this is the hunter that basically helped sealed it away. Which he looks at it. Looks at Naruto, was like, White Fatalis, how are you even in the boy? Which, it just starts chuckling, which surprises them. He goes, hunter. I have many ways to do this. But, to make it fair, I've been in this land since the day of many years before the age of the clan wars happened. I've been in this land. which surprises all of them. And he goes, so I've rested, waited, may have caused a few deaths and villages, here and there. But I've never basically truly done much harm. Which basically, Vitalis is telling the truth, which is just looking at him. Which you can tell us, with a quizzical look of basically, I don't believe you, and, should I believe you? With that, it's kind of hard to tell, which Vitalis just chuckles. He goes, you want to know how I know how to do seals. Which basically everyone nods. He goes, after you live for thousands of years like me, you kind of learn a thing or two. Which, that kind of surprises everyone. He goes, which even the commander asks, how long have you lived for? 75,000 years? Or 7,500 years? Since I became back into a seal, my time was almost ending. Before then, I went back to basically only being about maybe 4,800 years old, which that makes them all shocked, including the commander and the hunter, which goes, how can I talk? How do I know your language? How can I even speak? Like I said, with years and years of experience, it happens. And when you're basically, unlike most Vitalises, you will have a tendency to go more toward the unknown areas of the world. After all, it only happened when I came to here when I was young. Very young. After all, I met her. Which they're like, huh? Which he sighs, Kaguya Otosuke. And Haguruma Otosuke, along with his brother, the holder of the Sharingan, the Byakugan, the mother of all chakra. Which, they're basically, Hiruzen's eyes widen, but the Monster Hunter group, the commander and the hunter, like, so that means you're very old, yes. It was the day before they even planned to basically face her, I met them. I was no match for someone like her. And we all know how chakra came into the other lands. The old world and the new. Which, they nod. The Monster Hunter group. Which he just says, well, I was basically trying to fight after I licked my wounds from Kaguya. I came in and tried to kill her and her offsprings. But in a sense, they convinced me somehow to basically work with them. And then, it turns out, I could understand them. I realized I could even speak. So, I may or may not have learned how to read from them. Which kind of shocks them a lot. And I've been sleeping for many, many years. Each time I awoken, only war was around. And to keep my territory safe, I killed those unfortunate fools. And I became what I was. Which, the commander goes, what about the boy? He goes, oh, I saved him from dying from a fall from a drunken villager of this village, which surprises them. He goes, and why you sealed yourself away? He goes, to give the boy a fighting chance, to help him, to be there for him, or basically to help my old friend's child out. Which Hiruzen goes, you know, no. He goes, the boy knows his heritage, old man. I told him. After all, he also told him too, so remember, you forgot about that. Which, Hiruzen slaps himself across the head, like, I forgot. So yes, Fatalis says yes, he knew Minato, he knew Kushina. And well, as for his old friend, it's his duty to keep his child alive. And basically, they see he has like a long, faraway look in his eyes, which the commander says, "I thought Vitalis hate humanity and wants to kill us. Oh, my fury towards humanity is strong. Yes, very strong. But I have renounced my hatred towards humanity because I met the select few that were truly kind. Who, well, after talking, I basically learned some monsters are able to talk with each other and maybe even humans. Eventually. If I can learn so quickly after what happened, maybe there are other ones that can talk. The ones that are not mindless, who have aged to a point where they're hundreds of years old. Which, everyone's just kind of thinking about it until he says the elder dragons may be able to truly. Which that kind of shocks, the hunters, the commander and the hunter, to a certain degree. But no, he goes, but besides the point. He waves it off, he goes, I've been helping on this boy to the best of my capabilities, but he basically clenches his fist, he goes like, the madness. Which, both the commander and the hunter eyes widen, and goes, the curse. Which he nods. Which everyone goes like, the curse? What do you mean by that? Which he says goes, sooner or later this curse will consume him and turn him into a fatalis. Or, well, to be mad and be similar to one. Which Haru's eyes widen and he goes like, but he's strong. His will is strong. To the point where he blocked out the urge, the words, the voice. My will. Which basically Hiruzen asks how, which even the Monster Hunter, the two Monster Hunter, group was kind of shocked. He goes, because he had his precious people behind him. Which Hiruzen's eyes widen and then a smile comes onto his face. And I think he already understands now. As long as he's in this world and his precious people are around, he'll fight to never let that take over him. And he kind of feels a shift is happening deep within Naruto. So, Hiruzen just sighs and content. He goes like, he never ceases to amaze me. Which, basically the hunter says, so, this red lightning of yours. He goes, well, I am his Jinchuriki. He is a Jinchuriki of me. But he's 10 times stronger than even the 9 tails. Probably on the same level as the 10 tails, if in a weakened state. Which then kind of shocks Hiruzen. Goes 10 tail the Jubi. But Kaguya Otosuke may be the Jubi itself. So, as long as she is weakened and not has full control of her powers, for now, Naruto may be able to beat her. But if he gets older and learns how to control this power eventually, yes. But he'll not get stronger here. Which he looks at basically Hiruzen, which Hiruzen goes, wait, what? He maybe learn all the jutsus he can. Maybe to learn everything. But the fact is, this village will not let him grow. So, he needs to leave this village as soon as he can. Or, well, when the proper reason is made. Oh. And by the way, Hunter. As he looks at the Hunter, he goes like, how's the QB doing? Which, the commander sighs. We sealed it away the best we could. But, something's been going on in the new world. Which the Fatalis' eyes, basically kind of like, squint. He goes like, what type of issues? Some elder dragons have been, some monsters from the Great Jagras to Rathalos have been, found dead. Like a fight was happening. many other monsters have been also dying around certain areas of the world, of the great, new world. Which, basically that gets basically, the Fatalis to think, which goes, the QB. Which, basically, the hunter says that's what we also conclude on the way here. We need someone to come there. Which, Haru's about to say something, but basically the commander goes, and I think we found our somebody. Which, everyone looks at him and goes like, huh? Him. Goes, which basically, the wife Fatalis points to Naruto, goes like, him? Naruto? Which, the commander nods. He's a ninja. With you around, basically most of the monsters basically may not be able to have a hard time. Besides, what did the boy use before he grabbed the sword? Which, basically, the wife Fatalis says, his fist and his feet, basically. Which, the hunter's like, okay, so what did he do? Oh, he punched it and he basically smacked it into a tree. Which, the commander says, see, he's perfect. Which, basically, the hunter sighs and be like, alright. By the way, the tracker, where is she? Which, basically, all of a sudden she comes in, basically goes like, wow, you really know my grandpa? Basically, and she goes, yep, I knew him. And then he basically, when Ino sees Naruto, she goes, Naruto? Which, Fatalis sighs and be like, oh, great. Which, the hunter sighs and be like, you have to tell her too. He goes, yes, I know. Hello, Ino Yamanaka. I am, what? As she goes, what? Fatalis, right? Which, his eyebrow raised. She goes, well, the hair on Naruto's side is kind of spiking. His hair is mostly white. That glowing eyes and that slit in it. Basically a little bit of the claws are also basically sort of going red. Kind of makes some sense. Which Naruto, not Naruto, but White Fatalis basically opened up his mouth and goes like, I see. And he just hears Naruto laughing in his own head. So yeah. So in a sense, he just sighs and be like, these people, smarter than I thought. So, which basically, the commander goes like, young lady, how do you know of this? Which the tracker says, oh, well, she's basically, you remember basically Kasu Yamanaka? Which the commander's eyes wide and he goes like, wait, he was her grandfather. Which, wow. She basically is basically a really fast learner when it came to basically his research. In which, basically the commander goes to research, which basically he knows his research notes, and basically thoughts on it and such. I'm all the way at basically the Legends of Vitalis, and one of them, even though it's hard to understand, but wait, if Naruto, this is not Kekai Genkai, right? Kekai Gentai, Genkai, which Vitalis nods no, it goes like, then how is he, seals? Which, basically has a quizzical look, and Vitalis says, seals have the power to do many things, including seal a biju in them, into an object. But only basically an object that could be not contained by normal seals can hold it. Say for the Nine Tails, a human host should have been used, but in a sense with certain, as basically he looks at the hunter, which the hunter says, with certain seals that are made where we come from, that we knew how to make, we have sealed at least only truly dangerous monsters into them, to make the weapons also change with it. In which, I think this is what kind of understands, but then realize, wait, so you mean to tell me, yes, I sealed off basically the Nine Tails into a sword. A long sword. And the Nine Tails may have somehow been able to not break free from it, or has broken free from it, We don't know for sure. Which she was, and is causing a a ruckus in the old world? No, new world. Which her eyes widen. And then the commander says, and we were going to ask Hiruzen for basically a group of ninjas, or at least one ninja that we could look at to basically bring to the new world and help us. Basically, we also may actually have to, well, train them, but in due time, we would, also have a research also be their partner, which Ino's looking at, White Fatalis, as in White Fatalis has changed it back to Naruto. Control, basically, shows. So, you're saying you need someone to go with Naruto to, which, basically, they not. Which he goes, well, I'll go. I want to see the new world, and besides, I want to see what my grandfather basically research was going to lead him to. Which the tracker basically chuckles at that, and pats on the shoulder, be like, well, you have the spunk for it, so why not? Which the commander chuckles at that. But then Hiruzen looking at both of the new, the Genins that are right in front of him, and then he sighs and goes, you do realize if this happens, you cannot be a ninja of Konoha. Which, says, but I thought we could be both. Which, basically, the commander says, well, that is true, but under special circumstances, that is possible like this. Which Hiruzen's kind of looking at him and goes like, well, you see, we recently added a seal to the sword before we sealed the blade, sealed the sword away that held the Kyuubi. That if anyone tried to take the Kyuubi's chakra from the sword and the soul out, it would destroy the Kyuubi and the sword itself. Which Hiruzen's eyes widen, and, well, the sword will be able to be wielded by someone with a strong will of its own, stronger than the Kyuubi's. Most people have tried. Which Hiruzen goes like, what do you mean most people? Which he goes, young hunters want to prove their strength. We lost some bright, stars because of it, but basically, I believe Naruto will be a good addition to the hunters, and if she basically already knows a few things from basically the Monster Hunter, from the old world's research, and maybe of the new world's research from her basically grandfather going there, then she'd be an excellent addition to help Naruto out. And besides, this would actually be a good thing because the guild and, the Hidden Leaf Village will actually be able to coincide with each other if we have any ninjas that come into the new world. Which Hiruzen's eyes wide, he was like, don't tell me. Which he nods. He goes, a couple of months ago, someone came into the new world. We noticed it, and we saw basically a headband from it. And he basically takes it out and shows a musical symbol on it. Which Hiruzen's eyes widen, and he goes like, ninjas are going to be coming to the new world, Hiruzen. This is dangerous. They'll destroy the ecosystem will be very, how should I say? Which Thunder says, very terrible. Monsters will basically try to claim their territory. You understand this along with the Leaf Village, at least. Which Hiruzen nods, and he goes, so the guild is trying to make cooperations with, yes, the ninjas. We already have basically Kumo, and basically with the rock. With the basically the Raikage and the Tsuchikage, heck. Basically, the Mist Village was under attack until basically, the Mist Village was being attacked by their own forces. We heard of until a strange, basically monster came into the area. We found out it was Rathalos. The Three Tails were fighting it, and made Terumi use this opportunity to defeat Yagura and became the new Misakage. In which, we also talked to her about it. And she agreed. So, some ninjas are going to be a part of the Third Fleet. And some of them are Genin. we said we wanted adults, but she only said she only give Genin, and besides, her mostly stronger ones are going to be needed there. So, we only said we'll only take a handful. Kuma was willing to give us a whole bunch. Besides, he said he went to the New World once by accident, and he said it did toughen him up. So having some of his gun in there basically will be a good thing. Besides, they basically will be getting field promotion and being training like crazy by the Rikage A. Which Hiruzen's eyes wide. He goes, A's been trained. He nods, basically, before Hiruzen even says anything. A has been trained his newly promoted Chunin. And only a select few are going to go there. In which, basically, that even shocks Hiruzen. Because he sits down and he goes like, so, yes, we gave them a date. You have plenty of time to choose Hiruzen, but as the hunter does, step forward, like, I'd like to have Naruto Uzumaki to be joining the 3rd Fleet. Which, then the tracker goes, and I'd like to have Ino Yamanaka. Which Hiruzen just looks at them and goes like, I'll have to talk this to the council. But I think Ino's father will be glad to have this, especially if Naruto's there. Which Naruto just shrugs. So, in a sense, after that, wow, I've been talking forever, but after that, I need to get going soon, so, yeah. So after that, basically, after that talk, basically everything happened, everything's gonna go like canon. Kabuto will leave, Sasuke's fight, Ino and Sakura fight, but Ino basically may or may not have won, just because she basically didn't go down very easily for some reason. While she was going down, she saw Naruto have this unconscious worried look on him. So, basically, before she falls, she kind of stops and basically then moves again and punches Sakura in the face, knocking her out and going unconscious too. So, still a loss for, both of them, a tie, but, show props for getting stronger. And Kiba's fight, well, also I forgot to mention, everyone's kind of wondering why there's these 3 people there. So, now excuse me, I need to do something real quick. Okay, so, like I was saying, basically, the whole other fights will go the same, does her thing. It's Kiba versus Naruto. Now, is Kiba gonna win? No. But I'm just gonna say this, Naruto's gonna be fair. He lets Kiba, strike, Naruto just dodges. Kiba's getting mad on Akamaru until Naruto basically kind of looks at Akamaru with a glare that basically makes Akamaru stop and runs away. Basically turned back to a dog that ran, which Kiba's like, Akamaru! What's going on? Which basically Naruto just looks at Kiba and goes like, well, your dog knows when to basically flee from a stronger predator, or should I say alpha. Which Kiba goes like, I'm the alpha! Which, before anything happens, they hear a crash. Which, everyone's kind of concerned, and then a crash again. Then all of a sudden, something basically smacks right into the door of the Chunin exams, and basically something just running in. It's a Tobi Kadachi, basically a big giant blue type of squirrel, reptile monster, like snakish head. Bird that has electricity, Tobi Kadachi. So, everyone's shocked. The monster hunter basically gets out his sword, which Naruto basically did have his sword leaning against the wall, which he says, Kakashi! Sensei, my sword! Which Kakashi basically grabs it and throws it. Naruto catches it, and immediately rushes towards the, Tobi Kadachi. The Tobi Kadachi basically goes out, sees Naruto, jumps in the air, and tries to, turns forward, hits him with his tail. Naruto basically dodges it by rolling forward. Basically, lightning's going across basically a sword as he runs towards it. And Tobi Kadachi, turns around and basically tries to, hit Naruto. Naruto jumps over and basically slice at it, which the hunter and the commander, the trucker, sees. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. as Naruto lands, and yeah, the Tobi Kadachi basically is trying to hit Naruto. Naruto basically blocks the projectiles that try to hit him. He basically even dodge roll, does the shadow clones, and yeah, the shadow clones will make it a lot more easier since they can't tell which one's which. And eventually, multiple strikes hit the creature at once, killing it. Which Naruto just sighs. And this went on for a good 20 minutes. Which, basically, the hunter going up to Naruto pats him on the shoulder and be like, good job. Not bad for basically defeating one of these. Which he goes, I had basically the speed and basically the distractions, plus help and strength. Which he nods. Kiva's just like, I forfeit. Which, yeah, no one judges him for it. So, the commander's like, what should we do with the body? As Naruto just immediately breathes fire and basically burns it to ash. Which, that kind of shocks everyone. But Kakashi and Sakura, and, Shikamaru and Choji. But in the commander, and you see, commander, the hunter, and the tracker understand that, yeah, Vitalis is sealed inside of him, he should be able to breathe fire too. Which he goes, burn it to ash. So yeah, so Naruto goes back up, and everything goes back to the same. He doesn't like Neji and what he says about Hinata, and basically how he hurt her. So, yeah, he swears, he'll take revenge. Well, basically get payback for her, and, well, everything goes from there. All the matches will be same in the canon. And, well, at the end of it, Naruto's looking at Neji and be like, be ready for when I defeat you, Neji Hyuga. Because that's a promise that's a promise that I'm gonna keep. And he walks away. Unknown to Neji, in his subconscious, he can tell he will die. He knows he may die from this. While outside, he just scoffs at it. So, this is where I'm gonna leave it off, everyone. Hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. This is gonna come out probably tonight or tomorrow night. I don't know when. But bye, everyone.